WWE has a massive problem right now, and the worst part about it all is it shouldn't be a massive problem. For those who don't know, Cody Rhodes is going to be off of TV for what, 6 to 9 months. It's a crazy story because he's injured. But then I realized WWE doesn't have any top babyfaces ready to take over Cody Rhodes' spot. Nor do they have, or have they had, a top babyface ready to take on Roman Reigns for either of the World Championship belts. Now, this is the reason why I think a lot of people expected Cody to basically just keep building up this fantastic run so he could take the belt off of Roman Reigns. But now we have gotten to a point that it is very clear WWE doesn't have an issue with building stars. WWE has an issue with patience and pulling the trigger. And this is a massive problem. I'm going to explain why. So first and foremost, for those who don't know, WWE is expecting more releases soon because WWE changed a very big thing in its system. If basically you're a new signee in NXT and you don't improve within 90 days, you're being cut from your contract. Now, the problem with this that I see largely due to this is that, one, 90 days is just simply not enough time. It didn't take Roman Reigns to become a star in 90 days. Roman Reigns took years and years and years to become a star. Now, I'm not saying you have to be that patient if you're WWE. But WWE believed so much in Roman Reigns that they shoved him down the throat of fans. And it really wasn't until Roman Reigns became part of the bloodline where he became respected. WWE tried so hard to tell you that Roman Reigns was going to be a star that they literally forced him down main events, Royal Rumble matches, all these different things. And fans gave them pushback. It was the wrong time. It's not because people hated Roman Reigns. It was because WWE forcefully tried to make somebody a star that at that moment it was not working, right? Then I see this video last night live on Twitch, Gable Steveson training in the ring. Now, Gable Steveson training in the ring looks great. He's honestly looking pretty good. I don't know if he's going to be like a hybrid of Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar, but obviously Gable Stevenson's a high priority for WWE. Or is he? The thing is, when I was live on Twitch, it kind of got brought up, like, what is actually happening with Gable Steveson? Because they post him every time, WrestleMania comes around, they show him off. But there's no continuity with Gable Steveson. Obviously, they are a lot more patient with Gable Steveson than they are with some of this talent in NXT. That's a massive problem. See, the thing is, in wrestling, yes, it is scripted, and yes, this is entertainment, but at the end of the day, you just don't know what it's going to be like when you put somebody out there with an interesting gimmick, interesting presentation. You don't know if the crowd is going to give them a standing ovation or if the crowd is going to turn on them. And when you forcefully try to push somebody like you did with Roman Reigns or like you did with Gable Steveson, I think fans immediately are going to be pushed away from it. Now, the reason why this is a problem for me is because this is something that's continuing to be talked about, especially now Bryan Alvarez is hitting on it. But we're getting closer to the point of WWE, WWE could very well be releasing people again. And the thing is, you can release people. You should not keep people who are not going to be around in your company if they are not genuinely trying. But here's the thing. 90 days is just simply not enough time. And it goes back to the Cody Rhodes situation. Cody Rhodes is the top baby face. Cody Rhodes did not become the top babyface in WWE. Cody Rhodes became one of the top stars that founded the alternative product, and WWE swooped in with their money and brought in Cody Rhodes. WWE swooped in with their money and brought in AJ Styles. WWE swooped in with their money and brought in Drew Galloway, who returned to WWE as Drew McIntyre. Do you see the issue here? You have to try. You have to commit to people that typically you wouldn't commit to. Finn Balor was the first Universal Champion. Had he not been injured, what would have been the entire career for Finn Balor? Now Finn Balor is back in a top spot as the leader of the Judgment Day. But if Finn Balor is the leader of the Judgment Day, that means Edge is going to be the top babyface while Finn Balor and Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley run rampant as heels. Why? Because Cody Rhodes is injured. So if the releases are coming, Please, 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 please understand that you have to do a better job of pushing people, giving people a chance. Apollo Crews was on the main roster. He returned to NXT, dropped the accent. I have no problem with this. But the thing is, what opportunities did you give to Apollo Crews? Yes, he was Intercontinental Champion, and then all of a sudden, he's no longer important. Ricochet wins the Intercontinental Championship, holds the belt, doesn't defend it on pay-per-view, doesn't feel important. Maybe if WWE defended that belt, maybe Ricochet becomes a massive star. Do you understand my point that I'm trying to make here? WWE has this massive problem and they can fix it, but for whatever reason they choose not to. And I need to discuss this more in depth. I want to give a huge special shout out to Ridge Wallet for sponsoring today's video. Guys, I told you before, this has become a major game changer for me. It's become a fashion accessory, yet it feels like modern tech that I can keep in my pocket. And it's really cool because it does prevent digital pickpocketing with the RFID protection. Now, one of the reasons why I've really fallen in love with this bad boy is for a couple of reasons. Look how it looks in my hand. It feels comfortable. But most importantly, this is a sleek, sexy, beautiful premium product that costs way less than that designer name brand wallet that I had before, which, by the way, that got incredibly bulky, sticky, made accessing my cards and my money a lot more difficult. Now, you may notice that there is an elastic clip around here. You can use a money clip or an elastic band, and yes, you can store your money there, which also makes it very easy to grab. But instead, I'm going to do something different. Instead of keeping money in my wallet, I'm going to do you guys a favor. I'm going to take the money from my wallet to yours, ridge.com/Ango. Use code ANGO for 15%. This way you can save a little bit of money. It's the perfect Father's Day gift. If you don't believe me, check out the 40,000 plus positive 5-star reviews on ridge.com. Guys, I want to know what you think of the Ridge wallet. Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know which one you're picking up. I got the titanium black, one of my favorite items that I own. Very beautiful stuff here. And again, shout out to Ridge Wallet for sponsoring and becoming a part of the Ango family. I want to revisit 2020 because this is where I think WWE has completely shifted from normal business operations. And as a company, they can hire, fire however they want. They got to deal with the repercussions. It's their business at the end of the day. But just like any other job, companies can fire you, and it is what it is, right? I don't agree with it. I sure as hell don't agree with it when it's a pandemic and you are the most profitable you have ever been. But hey, it's your business. If you want to have a bad reputation, go ahead and do as you see fit. Now, with that being said, one thing that a lot of people often forget, Cody is injured. Edge is turning babyface. See, the thing is, WWE had two very big main roster stars, former world champions, on that list of talent who was released in the past 2 years. There was over 200 people. And I get it, not everybody was a massive star, not everybody was being used, but Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman were two very big names in the WWE universe. They moved a shit ton of merchandise. WWE released them. So now let's imagine this. You're an NXT wrestler. You're a new signee. You're in the Performance Center. After 90 days, you haven't improved. You lose your job, right? That sucks because WWE is not really giving you a lot of time as somebody with no experience to actually improve. But let's take it a step further. Let's imagine you're an NXT wrestler. You make it onto TV. You don't get released while you're on TV, like Dexter Lumis, while you're in a storyline. And you make it to the main roster, and you headline WrestleManias, or you headline pay-per-views, and you win the world championship, and you sell a shit ton of merchandise. The fact is, you could still get released. Because that's what WWE has historically shown us before, is that even if you make it to the very top, you are still at risk of losing your job. This is a massive problem for WWE. This is a massive problem, and they got to do something to shift that. When every release that comes out is being argued as a budgetary reason? What? I'm just saying, if more WWE releases are expected, if WWE is really committed to releasing people every 90 days, I think that's going to be a big problem for this company. You can literally push whoever you want to push if you give them the opportunity. I'm not saying everybody's good, but what I'm saying is if you give people TV time, if you give them a chance to connect with the crowd, and they're able to connect with the crowd, you should, at some form, probably keep them on TV. But more WWE releases are expected. I feel very weird about this. It's the one thing I don't like about pro wrestling, especially when they're on TV and on storylines. So we'll see who gets released. I want to let you guys know. I'll be here to cover it. Let me know what you guys think down below. Thanks for watching.